If you're spending thousands on ads every month and your landing page is converting at just 2 or maybe 3%, but you know it could be doing better, then listen up, because you've probably already tried fixing it, but it hasn't worked. And now you're pretty skeptical and wondering if anything will help you to improve those conversions. But I've built over 100 landing pages for B2B service businesses just like yours, small teams that are spending on ads every month, but they're stuck at that 2 to 3% conversion mark. And I can tell you exactly what's wrong with your page because I see the same 5 mistakes over and over again. One of my clients that we worked with went from a 2% conversion to a 9% conversion in just 30 days by fixing what I'm about to share with you. 5 conversion killers likely active on your page right now. So let's get into it. So the first thing killing your conversion is having no clear offer, especially when you are running ads to cold traffic. And when I say cold traffic, I mean people who've never heard of you before. They've clicked your ad, but they don't know who you are and they don't trust you yet. If you are doing that and your landing page is trying to sell them your 5K service from the get-go, you're going to struggle with this conversion because cold traffic doesn't work that way. Your landing page only has one goal, and that is to get them to say yes, to take the next step in the process. So in their head, they're thinking, who are you? Why should I trust you? What's in it for them? And if you're asking too big of a commitment too soon, they're going to bounce back to Google or Facebook and just continue scrolling. So how do we fix it? The first thing you need to do is make sure that you have a marketing offer that is getting them to give you that next yes. You have to be really clear that this isn't your sales offer. This is a marketing offer. So it's something that builds trust and moves them closer to a purchase without asking them to make that full commitment right away. Typically, you've got 2 marketing offers that work really well. The first one is a ready now offer. This is something they already know they want, and it's usually for product aware type people that have a clear outcome in mind. Maybe they've searched for director's life insurance on Google. So your offer is likely going to be around giving them a quote. The second type of offer is more of a consultation type offer. This is for the problem and solution aware markets, and it ultimately frames your sales call as a diagnosis and more of a prescription to help them solve their problem. So this could be something like a free landing page audit. You help them identify the problem, then you present to them the solution. It's a foot in the door, and it ultimately builds that trust, moving people closer to the sale. The key here is that you don't try to close the sale on the landing page. You get them to raise their hand, build trust, and move them to the next step in the sales process. The second conversion killer is all around headlines, and it's mainly about having vague headlines that really aren't clear to your audience. And I need you to really understand something important. If you get one thing from this video, make it this: your headline is going to be the biggest lever that you can pull to increase your conversions. It's going to have the biggest impact on whether people take that next step and move closer to becoming a client. Only a small percentage of people are going to scroll past the top section of your page, which means most visitors will read your headline, they'll glance at your subheadline, and they maybe look at your image or the VSL that you've got, and they're going to decide within 3 seconds whether this is for them and if they want to stick around. So that means you've got 3 seconds to capture their attention. If your headline doesn't immediately speak to their problems, their pain, or their desired outcome, you're going to lose them. And we see this all the time. You get pages with headlines like enterprise software solution, maybe it's innovative B2B services, or your trusted partner in growth. But ultimately, to your audience, this means nothing, especially if you are driving traffic to this page that is ice cold. These headlines, they're vague, they're generic, and they don't tell the prospect what they're going to get. To fix your headline, you need to speak directly to that ideal customer and what they want. It needs to be specific, benefit-driven, and outcome-focused, speaking to their level of awareness and where they are in their own head at the moment they land on that page. So instead of enterprise software solutions, which could literally mean anything, you might try something like close deals 30% faster with AI-powered sales intelligence. That would be if you're selling something like a CRM or a sales software. Or maybe you have cut project delays by 50% with real-time team collaboration if you were selling a project management software. You can see the difference between the first and the second examples. It's way more specific. It's about them and not about you. and it promises a clear outcome that they're going to get. So spend the most time here, test different headlines, get feedback, because if you fix your headline, you'll see an immediate lift in your conversions. I've seen it happen over and over again for clients that we've worked with. Now, the third conversion killer is weak or missing social proof, because buyers are skeptical in 2026. They've likely been burned before. They've worked with companies that have overpromised and underdelivered, and they wasted money on tools that didn't work. So if you don't build as much trust as possible, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot. But the mistake most people make is they dump all of their social proof into one section at the bottom of the page. Maybe they have a testimonial slider or some of those featured in logos, but this isn't enough anymore. People are too skeptical because most people, they're not even going to get down to that section. And even if they do, just having one section of social proof isn't enough to overcome the prospect skepticism. Instead, you want to sprinkle the proof all the way through your page in multiple parts. The main key places to put that proof is going to be firstly in your hero section. So this could be something like having a Trustpilot badge or a badge under the button saying trusted by 500 B2B companies. You want this in the first section the prospect sees. So it's going to be above the fold, maybe it's above the headline and below the button. Either way, you want to set the tone immediately as they land on the page. The second one is to have a metrics section. This could be a few key numbers or stats that you can boast about as a company. Maybe it's the number of clients you've served, the average result that you get for clients, or how long you've been in business. So you want to find maybe 3 to 6 key metrics that you can highlight and add them below your hero section. The third thing that you can do is just sprinkle it throughout the page. And what I mean by this is if you have a case study that is relevant to a section on your page, then you can plug that in below or next to that specific section. So if one of the things that you help people do, you have a testimonial that quotes that specific thing, this is where you're going to put that. The key here though is to use proof that is going to be believable to the people that are landing on the page. So having just generic stock photos or overused logos and fake testimonials, people aren't going to resonate with that and they just basically are blind to it. So you've got to make sure you use real people, real results, and you want to be specific. It might not always be right for you to use the best testimonial that you have if it isn't going to be believable by the majority of your audience. So make sure you're using testimonials that are going to be believable as well as aspirational for the prospects that are landing on your page. By the way, if you want me to personally audit your landing page and show you exactly where and why you're losing out on conversions, click the link in the description below and you can claim a free conversion audit with me today. Okay, so the fourth conversion killer I see is having copy that only talks about features and not benefits and outcomes. And what I mean by this is your prospects don't really care if you have AI-powered analytics or 24/7 support. They don't care about the features that you are offering. They care about what those features do for them. And if your copy is just a list of those features, you're making them do all of the mental work to figure out why they should care themselves. And ultimately, they're not going to do that. They're just going to leave the page if they have to overthink what you could support them with. So every time your prospect has to think, what's in it for me, you need to rewrite that section of your page to tie your features back to the results your customer ultimately wants. So instead of AI-powered analytics, you might say, our AI-powered analytics helps you identify which leads are ready to buy, so you close deals 30% faster. Maybe instead of a feature like seamless CRM integration, you might say seamlessly integrates with your CRM, so your sales team spends less time on data entry and more time closing deals. You can clearly see the difference between the first one that's just features and the second one that focuses on the benefits. So when you're reading your copy, always ask yourself, so what? What does this do for my customer? And you want to lead with that. Now, the fifth and final conversion killer is actually taking a step back and looking at your ads. You've got to make sure that your ads and your landing page match up for the offer that is being promoted and the messaging that is being used if you want to maximize your conversions. Obviously, when you first launch your landing page, you may be testing different angles and offers, which is completely fine. But once you get to the point where you are optimizing the process as opposed to trying to figure out what the market wants, you need to make sure that the message that you have on your ad And to be honest, even the branding that you have on your ads matches the message and the branding that you have on your landing page. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make is that they won't do any qualification or disqualification calling out the right people in their ads, and they wonder why their landing page converts so badly. So if you can use your ad to do the majority of that qualification, you can call out the right people and you can make sure only the right types of prospects are coming through to your landing page. You're instantly going to see an uptick in the conversions that you get on that page. So fix these 5 things and you'll see your conversion rates climb instantly. I've seen it happen time and time again. And if you want to go deeper, check out the video on the screen now, where I break down the 3 metrics that actually matter to track when optimizing your landing page. It's the perfect follow-up to what we just covered. And don't forget, if you want a free landing page audit, the link is in the description.